This is a very interesting chart right over here, because you could see on the left is the weekly cycle analysis, on the right is the daily cycle analysis. And when I created the cycle analysis workshop, which you can take a look at for free, you can get see a little video on that if you go to our front page to the workshops, and you'll get an idea of what that workshop is about. Well, when I did the workshop, I thought it was important to do a module that says how the individual cycles create the chart patterns. And this is really important to look at as we look at the weekly chart first in Alibaba. So you can see in there an inverted head and shoulders that's forming. And what typically happens is that inverted head and shoulders forms with the head at a cycle trough. In other words, where there are two cycles coming down, a minor and a dominant cycle. That's often where the head forms. What happens is the minor cycle here gives you a negatively configured cycle, which you see right over here. Then the next cycle over here gives you a positively configured cycle, as you see right over here. That's just forming. Now, that has a tremendous amount of meaning for us because it says this cycle right over here, which was made a lower low, negatively configured, was affected by the downward force from the dominant cycle. If you look at the dominant cycle over here, that is now creating an upward force, proven by the shape of this cycle, a positive configuration. What that says is that once this little correction is over with, the right shoulder gets formed, and then you move into this rising phase right over here, joining the rising phase from the dominant cycle. And then what happens? You get upward movement right in here that will look something like this, as we have drawn in here. And that's why we have these upward targets that we have right there. But it needs to get over the neckline right over here. There's the inverted head and shoulders neckline. That completes the pattern. That proves to us that we're in the next rising phase with our upward target, very minimal over here at 80.30, but I really think more like 84.5 to about 88.5. 89 is really where that is, and this is the inverted head and shoulders measured move. Let's look at this on the side by side here, and you could see how that inverted head and shoulders forms here on the daily chart right there. Oops, the computer is a little slow. It just jammed up. Let's just wait a second for this to clear up. What's going on here? We got a little bit too much going on in this chart right now. Wow. Okay, so that slowed down. Anyway, you can see the inverted head and shoulders right in there, as it's not going to update for me right now. And what that tells me is that this cycle right over here made the bottom. This cycle over here is just getting into support, and that is likely to get the market to move to the upside. So upside target into these areas over here, over 80, maybe 84.5, seems very reasonable to me. So that is a look at BABA.